We're having so much fun here at Toy Fair 2015. We have to let you in on the action. This is the official coverage of Toy Fair 2015 with the Toy Industry Association on BeTerrific from New York City, the Jacob K. Javits Center. I'm Michael Artsis. Thanks so much for watching. I want to say there are a couple of viewers who are really special to us because they keep watching. They're in the chat room all the time. They're giving us instant feedback, and it's amazing. That's Janny, who's unbelievable. He's battling migraines to watch all this amazing coverage. And, of course, Digital Phil, what a great group of guys. Digital Phil's a great guy. He's watching in Texas. Janny is in Finland. And, of course, we got Paul Dixon watching, coming in and out of the chat room in London, England, the UK. So thank you guys so much for watching. You're amazing, and you're great fans of BeTerrific. And all of you, we love you all. You all make this special. All right, if you want to join the conversation in real time, it's not a problem. You can see what Janny's saying. You can see what Digital Phil is saying. Even when I don't say that on air, you can see everything they're saying, and you can do that by going to BeTerrific.com/live, going underneath the live video player to the IRC chat. Join anonymously or create a name, and then come back often. You can also take us on the road with our digital app. Our digital app, of course it's digital. You can take our app on the road, iPhone, Android, and of course Kindle, app.beterrific.com. And you can connect with us on Twitter and Instagram at BeTerrificTV. Don't forget, you can also email us, connect@beterrific.com. Lastly, what I want to say to you is that there's the Michael Artsis Show, Monday through Friday, 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. It is tech, sports, business, and entertainment, some rants, all positive live and original non-live programming to inspire you, to engage you, to inform and entertain you. And we do it with all sorts of guests in studio and via Skype. And that's the goal of BeTerrific in general. Inspire you, inform you, tell you great stories. We've got a great story here. These are green toys. And of course, green toys are amazing. They're at Whole Foods. Jack has several of them already. I even completely disregard the warning that says, for 2 and above or whatever, because, I love these things. They're so cool looking, and he has to have them. I think we've got the dump truck. We've got some other things. They're all made out of recycled milk carton, milk bottles, milk jugs. They're made out of jugs. And it's really awesome because they're green, they're reusable, and they're great. So Robert and, of course, Laurie, thank you guys so much for coming on and talking about this. I have never seen the helicopter. I'm so excited about that. And, of course, it's a recycling truck that represents how the toys are made.
That's correct. So it's parents like you that are driving our business. I mean, so Green Toys was started, Laurie and I started this in a garage 7 years ago with our own money, never took investment. And we had this crazy idea. So the crazy idea was Laurie's a parent of 3 kids. I'm a toy inventor. So we got together and we said, you know what? There's a better way to make toys. Let's make toys that are environmentally friendly. Let's make it all here in the States. And let's make things that are really simple that harken back to a real childhood. And we had this crazy idea at your dining room table.
At my dining room table, and we just started with a simple idea.
How did you guys know each other?
We met at business school at USC a long time ago.
I was going to say, just 2 years ago?
Yeah. A long time ago.
So it was 9 years ago.
Yeah. It was
because you started 7 years ago, so it'd be 9 years ago.
Actually, it was a little before that. Thank you for the age compliment. We appreciate that. But other than that, what happened was Laurie and I got together, and I called Laurie because Laurie was a parent.
I had done a bunch of startups, taken some time off, and was doing the mom thing.
It's really hard, though, to go from the kitchen table without taking any funding all the way to where you are today.
Well, you understand that Laurie and I come from Silicon Valley. This is my 5th startup and her 4th startup. So
wow.
We didn't come into, we've been to
You're
this
a power couple.
We've been to this rodeo before. There's no doubt about it. But really what it is A, it's hard work.
Yeah.
And B, the people who say you can't manufacture in the US, we're proof positive. So now fast forward, we're in 90 countries. We export 90 countries. We have over 3,000 retailers in the U.S. Pottery Barn, Whole Foods,
Barnes and
Noble.
Lots of specialties that are our bread and butter.
That's amazing. So in 90 different places, and you're making them in the U.S., did making them in the U.S. drive the price up at all? Because I think they're very reasonable. I've always felt that. I mean, how much is that dump truck retail? Not the dump truck. I have the dump truck for my son, Jack, 21 months. But this is the recycling truck. How much is the recycling truck retail?
That's $27.99 retail.
Yeah.
But making in the U.S. is a really important part of what we do. I mean, it allows us to maintain quality, to support what's happening here domestically, to make sure that we can visit our factories, have our feet on the ground, and watch every part of the production process from start to finish.
So you're at the kitchen table, and how does this? You go, okay, we're going to do this. It's got to be green, blah blah blah. And how do you do it? Like, how do you go from that to we're doing it?
So this is an industry that didn't exist at the time, and so it was all about just starting, and I actually compliment Robert on that. He's just, he has this passion from within, and we just started, and we started material research and investigating all sorts of manufacturing in the U.S. and learning from the ground up and sort of building our knowledge base and our competencies.
Yeah, what's interesting about startups is there's just lore about startups, right? How do you start a company? What do you do? How do you get going? The bottom line is there's no secret. It's just really hard work. I mean, you're looking at two people that haven't slept in 7 years, right? Yeah. Because we're just so driven, and let's face it, we're in the toy industry. It's so much fun. I mean, when I'm able to give this to sell this to someone like you, and you give to your son, what a privileged position to be in.
Oh,
right?
And the smile I get out of it, and the smile he gets out of it, it's really, you've hit on something. You're very right, and I think the key is passion. You're passionate about it, so you don't mind not sleeping. But it is a ton of hard work, and I think the thing is, not to steal Nike's slogan, but the key is, you have an idea, you kind of just got to start. You just got to do it and then build from there.
I agree. I mean, I think people come to both of us all the time with their great idea. And there are so many great ideas out there. But what is the challenge? The challenge is putting that first foot forward and maybe not overthinking every detail of how you want to build a business, but just starting and learning and evolving and being creative when things don't go your way.
I hear that. I think that's really important, and taking advice and taking feedback, but not taking no for an answer. Eric S. wants to know, is it BPA free? So you're using bottles like this. The BPA free thing is a big deal. I don't know that it would be that big a deal in toys because the kids really shouldn't be putting the dump truck or the recycling truck or the helicopter in their mouth, which is where you'd have to worry about BPA. Is this stuff BPA free?
So first off, is BPA free? Yes. So what happens is recycled milk jugs in general are food grade plastic. They're one of the cleanest, safest plastics around. There's no phthalates, no BPA. There's none of these plasticizers that people worry about. But the thing is that kids do put this in their mouth, right? You take something like this helicopter blade, this is going to go into kids' mouth. This is just the way it works. So this is all food safe plastic. You could eat off this. You can put this in the dishwasher. Yeah, there are no BPA, no phthalates. None of those things that parents are concerned about.
That was one of the reasons that I was so interested and engaged in starting the company with Robert, in that I looked around what was going on in my own playroom, and I had no idea what my kids were putting in their mouths. I mean, here are all these sort of like plastic objects that who knows where they came from or what chemicals were going into those plastics, and we said we got to do it better. Our kids, everyone's kids, deserve more, and parents deserve to know what's going to their toys.
Yeah.
How many different toys do you have? You have, I just, every time I go to Whole Foods, I see different toys. How many do you have?
So we currently have about 150 different products
Wow.
that we sell. Now here's the funny thing also. Look, we're at New York Toy Fair, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of booths and a lot of companies. Laurie and I started at New York Toy Fair with 4 products, and we had 4 little display cases. We ordered them at IKEA, and we had them shipped. The ship to was Javits, right? And that was 7 years ago. Now you go to our booth. Our booth is enormous, and it's really grown because the mission has really grown.
Yeah.
Again, to 90 countries and to, Pottery Barn, Whole Foods, Amazon, Cost Plus, Costco. I mean, it's grown spectacular, beyond anything we thought.
Do you ever think you'll put electronics in the toys? Is that ever a thought? And maybe even doing reusable electronics and rechargeable batteries or something to get them moving in different ways? I mean, a helicopter could certainly maybe fly. That could certainly roll. I'm just curious.
The answer is our products are really about inspiring play and creativity. And so we really, our goal is to kind of keep them classic and let the kids sort of power them, as opposed to having the toys power themselves.
Let me see the helicopter. Yeah. I've never seen this. This is awesome. This is, it looks like to me, and I know it's not, but it looks like Special Agent Oso here. Jack would love this. You got the little bear, and then you got the helicopter.
But notice it's a seaplane. It floats really well.
Will it be a bath toy?
Yeah, it is a bath toy.
Oh, it's a bath toy.
Yeah, so it floats really well. And by the way, the dirty secret is take the bear out real quick.
Okay.
And then you grab it in the back, you dunk it in, and you fill it with the pontoons with water.
Yeah.
And you wash his hair with it. And it's a really, but it's just like,
hold on, I take a little too fast for me.
So grab the back.
I'm a little slower. Okay, so I've got this guy. I took him out.
Okay, grab the back of the helicopter.
Yeah.
All right. Dunk it in the bathtub.
Okay, just like like this.
Pull it back up.
Yep.
Now wash his hair with it.
Like this.
Yeah, so it pours out like this.
Right.
So what happens is now your son probably has more hair than you do. I hope so, but yeah, no offense to that.
Well, no, he shaves his head like me. We do it together.
Yeah, it takes forever every night, right? Yeah, shaves to get the lather off.
You know how long it takes to do this?
I can tell you,
and with him, he doesn't have a head that doesn't have hair.
Right.
So it
like,
takes longer.
He's like, Daddy, wash the shaving cream off my hair, right? Yeah, that kind of thing. So the interesting thing is making it fun.
Yeah.
And you know about electronics. Look around. There's a lot of companies that do electronics, right? There's no competitive advantage. Tons of companies do electronics.
Sure.
But sometimes when everybody's shouting, the way you get attention is by whispering.
Well, I love that this, as you guys said, harkens back to old toys. And it's kind of a combination of old and modern. And on the other hand, it's green, which is amazing. You're not cutting down trees to make this. You're not you're not having a steel plant. And you're just doing something it's just, every time I see them, I get such a smile. I'm not kidding.
And you know what?
It's not a joke. I get such a smile. Green toys.
Kids get that too. They get that when they put something in a recycling bin, they see our toys, they get that their recycling efforts, resulted in something that's fun. And that's meaningful and has a long-term impact and sort of helping
That's always the thing, too.
educate kids
Can I
about
see the
our
recycling
planet.
truck?
Absolutely.
I think that's the thing, too, is you recycle, especially as a kid, you don't know where it goes. There's a disconnect. And then, is anything really made out of it? Usually not. And maybe it's more soda bottles or milk jugs or something else. And you know what? Like, even the stuff that I've seen, it's not really great, but this stuff is great.
Yeah.
You guys have hit this. How long did it take you guys to do this? Like, okay, you got the idea, and then you have to prototype it. I mean, that doesn't seem like an easy process, especially when you're talking about going to get plastic. This thing's phenomenal.
Yeah, the dirty secret is this is really hard to do. This is Silicon Valley technology.
Yeah.
To take the plastic that makes a milk jug, which is a totally different kind of plastic you're
course.
using, do all this. One
And
thing you
clear.
notice,
By the
no
way, it's clear.
glues, no screws, no metal axles at all. When you're done with no paint, you can throw this in the recycle bin when you're done with it. It's the real deal.
But better than do that, donate it to another child.
Or recycle it that way, even better.
Yes.
What is the greenest toy? The greenest toy is the one you don't throw away a week after you bought it.
First of all, let me just tell you something. Forget about Jack. When Jack gets old enough to not want to play with that anymore, I want it on my desk.
Yeah, that's right.
Honestly, I mean, maybe I'll be nice to give some of them to another kid, but there's going to be something on my desk. They just, because I walk in and I get smiles, other kids got to have smiles.
You know what we call it? It's the Barney syndrome, right? Barney used to be thing kids loved and parents couldn't stand it. It was so horrible, right? So now we need to be able to make something that you want to have in your house. Chances are you have a pretty nice house, and so you want something, you don't want plastic crap in your house. You want something that looks nice in your house.
It inspires you.
Exactly. And it does look nice, and it does inspire me. It really does. And it inspires Jack. He's like, and then he puts stuff in it, and then he dumps it out. We have a
Yeah.
couple of them. I don't remember all of them that we have. You have little ones. I mean, there are ones that start that are pretty small, and they get bigger and bigger, up to about maybe a little bit bigger than this. What's the future?
Yeah.
The future is, doing more of what we do and making sure that we get our products in the hands of everyone that wants them, all kids around the world, because we think it's important to make them affordable and accessible and share this message.
Do you guys ever have a dull moment? Do you ever have anything that's boring in your lives? Because it seems like all you guys do is have fun.
Well, it is a lot of fun, even when you're sitting there trying to figure out how do we get a container out to Japan of products that have to be there yesterday. It's a lot of fun, but it's all about the greater mission, right? We all have things that are not fun in our life.
Yeah.
We all have things that, are drudgery and a lot of work, but at the end of the day, you keep your eye on the prize, right?
Right.
And that's what drives us through, I mean, when I think of your son playing with this and the joy it's getting and how you feel good about it, that makes the thousands of boxes I need to get across the country tomorrow, that problem goes away when you think about the joy behind what your kids are doing.
It's 100% true. We get emails and phone calls and even letters sometimes from kids and from parents that are inspired by what we're doing. And it's like, we've just been doing it. You kind of get your head down, you try and figure out the problems. How do you, bring this to market or figure out the logistics? But when you get these emails from parents that love your brand because it's made in USA or because their kid did something super creative with it, I mean, that's sort of what makes you, keep going.
Yeah.
What about your message to people who are young inventors, young creatives, or just starting up? You guys have been at 5 and 7 startups each, who are just starting up their company or looking to do something different. What's your advice to those people?
The biggest advice I have is don't overthink it, right? I mean, everybody, you can really get down the rabbit hole in just, what if I did this, what if this, overthinking it. Now, at some point, you have to take the resources that you have, and you have to make a company, and you have to start simple. I mean, everybody wants to go out tomorrow and be Lego. But Lego wasn't Lego overnight. Lego was Lego over a course of, I don't know, 60, 70 years. You start simple, and you start with what you can do, you manageable chunks, and just don't get intimidated by the big picture, because the minute you look up and you see how big it is, you'll never do it.
Right. I think that's very good advice. How about for you, Laurie?
Absolutely. It's like I said earlier, it's that first step that is daunting, and you take it and you learn from it. Every step along the way, you learn what worked, you learn what didn't work.
Was there ever a time? I mean, so here I always tell people, you just keep going, you keep persevering, and I think we're a startup, right? So there are times when it's hard, and when you can it would be so easy to throw in the towel, right? Was there ever a time where you guys had that feeling, because you just have to push on and you have to pursue, and then it works out and opportunities come and you make things happen, but there are times that you have to push through. There are hard times. Did you guys ever go through that?
Of course, 100%. Well, it's not that we ever said we were going to stop, but we hit these roadblocks. We're like, okay, that wasn't the path that we had intended.
Sure.
Now what? And so we sat back and we just got creative, and we brainstormed, and you kind of look at your best options, and you have to roll the dice a little bit.
And part of it also is, you can't take it that seriously. I mean, when you think about how we live,
yeah,
we are royalty in the world. The way we live, anyone who travels internationally, so we do a startup, it doesn't work, it failed. What's going to happen? Your kids are still going to be fine. You're going to have a house above you. I mean, we are so blessed with how we live. So at some point, you just don't make it so serious. It's like, that's the great thing about Silicon Valley. And the mindset is, I'm going to try some. If it doesn't work, so what? I'll go do something else. No one got hurt.
Right.
Some people lost a little bit of money, but you know what? They're investors. They lose money all the time. As long as you just don't take it so deathly seriously and you have fun, everything's gonna be fine.
And I think the last sort of thing I'll say that I think, early on it's hard, but we did a good job of learning to say no to things and not having your eyes so big, and looking at the small opportunities and making sure you nail those, because the big opportunities are the ones that can either make or break you. But when you're young and you're new, it's easier to break you. And so saying no is really hard, but I think it really paved the way for a lot of our.
It's very good advice. Sometimes you do have to say no. All right, 2 questions for you. I know you got to run. I appreciate your time. Thank you guys so much. The audience is loving you. Eric S. says this is amazing. He's staying awake after working 12 hours last night just to watch this engaging conversation. So we got to give kudos to Eric S. We love you, Eric.
That's right. Thanks, man.
What is the future for Green Toys?
Go ahead.
So the future for Green Toys is we now are involved in your kids' play life. When they have entertainment, play with that. We want to surround his entire life. We want to surround the things you put in his room. We want to surround the clothing and the fabric that touches his body. We want to surround all parts with the same ethos and make his entire life, not just his play life,
green,
as good as this is.
Yeah. And green.
Green, made in the U.S., and incredibly safe.
That's really awesome. I like that vision. And so how long till we'll see the next iteration or the next thing?
I think you can probably be sure that we're going to take what we did in the startup world and continue forward. So slowly, meticulously, and carefully sort of make those choices.
What do you think of startups having to take on money or going the Kickstarter route?
Yeah. Well, Kickstarter is amazing. Kickstarter wasn't around when we started.
Right.
Kickstarter is an amazing thing.
Would you have done Kickstarter, do you think?
Probably not. Probably not. So in a prior life, I was a venture capitalist in Silicon Valley. That's how we got some of our startup experience. And I do have to tell you that if you can do it on your own, being the master of your own domain, is an amazing luxury to have, because you're losing on your own dollar. Kickstarter, though, is an incredible way to raise money. But it just wasn't around when we started.
Yeah, and what about if you have to raise money? I mean, it's a way to go, I guess, right?
If you have to raise money, it's a way to go. But you need people that are going to be constructive, not destructive.
Right.
You want people that'll be patient, people that they're not worrying about every dime they put into your company, and you really need partners. It's not really just about money's available anywhere.
You need strategic money,
and sometimes you need help.
And what about? Do you guys believe that other entrepreneurs, other creatives, other businesses should be looking to be green, no matter what they're trying to do, and they should be looking at the green space in general?
Well, I mean, part of what we're doing is not just having a company, but hopefully we're influencing other companies that think about things differently. So yeah, I mean, I think it would be wonderful if there were more companies that were thinking about how to make and build sustainable products.
Yeah, it'd be terrific. People say, do you have any competition? And we say, we don't have a lot of competition, what do we do? But imagine a world where we have tons of competition. Wouldn't it be great that we have like tons and tons of competition and everybody does this? That would be awesome.
Much better place, right?
Hey, competition.
That's what it's about.
Competition is great. I agree with you. I love competition. I'm very competitive. I want to be number one at this. So I'm happy to have somebody else try to be number two or try to be number one, so we can have a good competition, and it drives us to be better and all that. So currently, as far as I know, other than televangelists, we're the only ones doing positive content, and maybe like people like Tony Robbins, and I love that. But I, welcome anybody to challenge, and I think that that's important too. Greentoys.com. You got elephants now. I see that. You got the helicopter. Oh, trains. Oh, trains.
Everybody
Jack
loves
is
a
on-
choo-choo train. Yeah.
Jack is on the trains.
Everybody
choo-choo, he's going to say.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
have dinosaurs. He's going to go, what
Right.
noise does a dinosaur make, Jack?
Yeah.
Oh, and you've got this little boat that's a ferry with the car
right.
carrier. That's so awesome. Do the trains roll on tracks?
Well, here's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
The train does not roll on tracks, and that's purposeful because you want to teach a kid there's no limits to where they can go.
I like
They
it.
don't go on the path. Sometimes the best adventures in life are off the track, so we don't do tracks.
All right. We're going to take it to commercial this way. You guys play each other. All right?
Oh boy.
So
Awesome.
red
I
is the
love
white
this.
car,
Red is the white car. Okay.
and the dark car is going to be
Jeez.
We're
Blue.
entrepreneurs and we're incredibly reckless, so
And we're
gonna like
competitive.
and we're gonna like crash. on
Don't
the first
start
run.
yet. I'm going to do the countdown. I got to ask
No
you.
cheating.
You know how to play, right?
Oh, of course.
All right, so who's going to win?
Laurie.
That's what he always
Wow.
says.
He's
But
gonna
see,
win. I'm reckless.
he's
Is that-
sandbagging.
Hold on a second. Is that a rope-a-dope move?
Yeah, no.
Are you leading into the ropes now and taking the punches so that you can come back?
No,
when
this
she's
is not
worn
my
out?
you
game. This is
figured-
not my game. I'm too reckless.
You're too reckless.
Yeah, UFC would be much better
So we're
for
just
me.
trying to
Yeah,
come
yeah,
around
yeah.
the circle here, or do we got to? Okay.
Just go around in the circle, yep.
Okay.
And okay, so I'll count down to 3. You guys are amazing. It's greentoys.com. Thank you for the conversation. Before we do this, what were your favorite toys growing up?
Oh, go ahead.
Gnip Gnop.
A what?
Gnip Gnop.
I don't even know what that is. Wow.
fun little
you're
game
too
with
young for that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah, but mine was Bing Bang Boing. If
Okay.
you don't know what it is, look it up online. It was fabulous from the 60s.
All right, I'm going to look that up. Bing Bang Boy. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. This is Green Toys Racing. Oh! He got a little bit further. Reckless, but you won because you got further.
Oh, yeah. Well,
No, that was me.
yeah.
Oh, that was you. You're
Right,
right. You're
right.
right. Laurie won. She got further.
We're all in a pile of smoke, so it doesn't
Yeah.
matter, right? Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for having us. We appreciate
Thank you
it.
guys
so
for
much.
coming on.
Yeah.
You're awesome. Your story's awesome. Please come on anytime.
Great.
And we love Green Toys. Greentoys.com. You got to send us some stuff to put on set back in our studio
Love
in
to do
Secaucus. We
that.
do a live
We'll
daily
send you a
show.
whole box. This is a terrific show. Thank you so much.
Thanks
for
Thank you
very
having
guys.
much.
Yeah.
Say
Thank
hello
you.
to Jack for us.
Absolutely. I definitely will. Giacomo, if you're watching, we got some great toys for you. You saw this, and choo-choo, baby. Choo-choo. We'll be back with a whole lot more right after this. Our intro and bumpers are inspired by Jack. Look at that. You're going to see it right now. This is your live official Toy Fair 2015 coverage with the Toy Industry Association on BeTerrific. We love you guys all for watching. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We're coming right back.